Okay, you've heard about it. You've heard about what is this thing called Bitcoin. It's out there. And if you're just getting started, this is for you because Bitcoin is one of those things that really is changing our world today. So we've got a basic Bitcoin for beginners here from Brock. And we're going to talk about that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be your guide to help you understand what's going on with this, kind of what it is, the picture and how you do it, and some recommendations that you can use on that. And so that's what we're going to focus on this very special episode of Agorapreneurs.
Welcome to Agorapreneurs, standing for liberty and freedom, all done peacefully. Now, here is your guide, Terry Brock.
Hey, I'm Terry Brock, and I'm your guide here as we talk about what you can do with your life as an entrepreneur who believes in freedom. That's what the Agora lifestyle is all about. It's particularly important for people who are embracing that lifestyle to live their lives voluntarily, live their lives peacefully. Key term, peacefully. So we can do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what you can do and how that works in the Agora lifestyle. We believe in getting out there, living as entrepreneurs. That's where the preneur part of it comes from, entrepreneurs. And the agora part goes back to the ancient Greek word of agora, open spaces, and people interacting voluntarily with each other, being able to work and be able to have those entrepreneurial dreams to get a lot done. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we do to help out on that is we have a 20 with Terry. If you go over to 20withterry.com, you can apply to get some coaching and get some help on that. No charge for it. It's one of those things that we like to do. I love talking with people who are going to fit that model, who are embracers of freedom and liberty, freedom, and they love that, and want to have the entrepreneurial lifestyle. We can help you with that and make sure that you're getting the kind of help that you need. The way we do it, you get 10 minutes to talk, then I'll have 10 minutes to give some advice, and there might be some opportunities for coaching that we go beyond with that and show you some of the key factors that are going to be there. And by the way, if you like what you're hearing here, be sure and subscribe here on YouTube and whatever channel you're getting this on. If you're catching this on the podcast version, by all means, I want you to subscribe to that as well so you can get this on a regular basis and be able to see the kinds of things that are coming down, how you're going to be able to use that. So we want to get back to looking at Bitcoin and what it is, looking at some of the basics and what it is. I've been really looking forward to talking with you about this because it gives you a chance to see what's available and what this thing called Bitcoin is. And there's even more than that we're going to talk about in just a moment. You've probably heard it in the news, and sometimes it's spoken of a little bit derisively. Some people say, oh, it's not really good. It's only for those gangsters or for drugs and things like that. Well, I find that people say that usually don't know as much as they could about Bitcoin and those other things like that. It is anonymous, but it is not completely private. That's for sure. You can still trace it because it's done on a particular method, a database that we call blockchain, and there is a record that's kept of that is immutable. That means it cannot be changed. So people are going to be able to find that out. So it's not completely anonymous. And actually, the currency that is used most for underworld activities is the U.S. dollar. That U.S. dollar is the thing that they're using, and more than anything, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not something if you want complete privacy. So it's not there. Now, another thing I want to mention to you also, it's not the physical coin. You might have seen coins like this talking about Bitcoin. I thought when I got started with it back in 2014, oh, that's what it is. I'll just get some of those little coins there. No, those are just meant to say it's kind of a coin, okay? And it's not those coins at all. It is digital. In a way, it's more like, think what you would do with a credit card. If you're using your credit card, maybe you're buying something on your phone, you're not getting a physical coin to do that. You're just putting in digits. Same thing here with Bitcoin. These digits are then transferred over to others so that others would be able to send that. And the nice thing about it is as you use Bitcoin, you have the ability to purchase items and you'll be able to use that. Now, there is a fee for that, depending on the time of day that you're going to use, how busy the network is, and other things like that. Kind of like in Visa or MasterCard or other credit cards, there is a slight fee that's there. But the beauty of Bitcoin is that unlike the credit card, no one can turn you down. Think about it. If you use a credit card, someone could say, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. Your bank could. You might have run into that where they say, no, there was this problem or that problem, and they have the fraud. And I understand what they're doing, and I respect that from the banks because they want to make sure that we don't have the fraud out there. But with Bitcoin, You have to exercise some extra concern, but no one can turn you down. Very, very nice. And what it is, it's like two people that want to just exchange goods between each other, have a good time, toasting each other, sharing a good time in life. This is what Bitcoin is all about. It's about you being able to do what you want to do without all the pressure of the monetary system that's there. Matter of fact, it is its own monetary system. And it really is the true Agora lifestyle, the Agorapreneur lifestyle, meaning that it's voluntary between consenting people. And that's why Bitcoin is an ideal means of exchange. It's voluntary and it is permissionless. That means no one can give you permission in order to use it, and you control your life and you control what you're doing with your money. I think that's pretty good. And also, there's no central control for Bitcoin where you can call up and get some help. It's not like you call up a number and say, okay, I need some help on this. No, you got to do it. There's no president of Bitcoin. That means we go by rules to use Bitcoin, but there are no rulers and hence no slaves. You get the idea? This is kind of nice. You know, and another thing about Bitcoin I particularly like is it is borderless. That means you can't you can't stop people from using this in different places around the world. Wherever you go, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. You might think, okay, how much is Bitcoin over in this country or in that country? Well, it's the same. Wherever you go, they will take Bitcoin. If they say we take 0.0005 Bitcoins, then you can do that. It's another nice thing about Bitcoin. It's not just that you have to buy one full Bitcoin. As for instance, when Bitcoin a few weeks ago was at its record high of $63,000 US, you didn't have to buy $63,000 worth of something to get Bitcoin. You might say, hey, I only want to buy $5 worth, or I only want to buy $20 or $100 or whatever denomination you might want. It goes out to 16 different decimal places, and that's a real nice feature of it. I think it's really good. And when you're dealing with that, you can do business this way. And it's the speed of that transaction that'll help you a lot. It's much faster than many other ways that we do it, but the speed depends again on the traffic. Kind of think about it as if you were going through a major city. If there's a lot of traffic, obviously it's going to take you a little bit longer to get from point A to point B. So it'll take a little while depending on where you are and when you use it. But again, it's all going to be done on your smartphone or on your computer, and you take these codes and send them across there. Now, here's another thing about that.
I'm not sure.
And here's another thing that's amazing about not just Bitcoin, but the cryptocurrencies themselves. There are also other coins out there that are called altcoins. These altcoins are others that are based on a similar kind of thing. Things like Ethereum or Litecoin. One I like, Bitcoin Cash or Dash. There's also some Hive that's been out there. There's many. There's about 4,000 of those. But they are all a little bit different. Some people will use some other terms for those. They'll say, oh, these are shit coins and all that. Well, I'd say they're altcoins. And some people say, well, I'm only going to use Bitcoin. And that's okay. They are often called maximalists. People that say, I'm only going to use Bitcoin. And I respect that. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but I would say I'm a almost only Bitcoinalist. Okay, how's that for a word? I'll make up my own word there. But I use mainly Bitcoin, a mostlyist, if you can say it, if I can make that up, a mostlyist with Bitcoin, but I think there's a place for the others. And I think it's a good rule of thumb to be careful where you put your money when you're dealing with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. The most important thing, though, is to remember that with Bitcoin, this is a revolutionary monetary tool, and it can be used for purchasing and for selling. It's also something that you can use to earn and acquire more Bitcoin by working for someone else who might pay you in Bitcoin. So that's good. But another thing you've got to be aware of, Bitcoin is extraordinarily volatile. Like the roller coaster, oh yeah, it goes up and down, and it is definitely not stable. So I remember when I got started with it, Bitcoin was around $200 or so. And that was back in 2014. And then it has gone up to, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, as of the time of this recording, $63,000. Now, it could go farther. It could go back down all the way to zero. So we don't know, but there's a lot of volatility in that. You do not want to invest in that with money that you could not lose. But also at the same time, everything you're hearing from me right now is not financial advice. Just shaking your head, no, no financial advice here. I am not making any recommendation, but I am making a recommendation as a professional speaker, a journalist, a marketing coach, that I recommend you invest your time in study. learning that. You want to make sure that you learn about these things and start looking at what you can do with Bitcoin. Hey, as a speaker, I travel around the world. I work with companies and organizations when they're having meetings and talk about marketing, talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, many different places. But I think that what you want to do is invest in your knowledge, in your learning. Here's a quote that I've talked about before from one of my heroes, Benjamin Franklin. I love the way he said it when he said, "Empty the coins in your purse into your mind, and your mind will fill your purse with coins." I think that is the key. What you want to do is you want to learn, and now's the time to start learning. These technologies are changing our world today, and it's wise to be aware of what's going on. I encourage you to invest study time and learning in Bitcoin, and there are others. And there are several ways you can do this. Do a search on Bitcoin, a search on blockchain over on YouTube, or at your favorite search engine. You could use that. Also look into cryptocurrency. There's many videos out there. And so I would recommend you look at a variety. Get a variety of different opinions, and don't have only one source as your ultimate voice on the topic, including what I'm saying right here. You want to find out what you can do. You see, Bitcoin offers you the ability to live a life of freedom, the Agorapreneur lifestyle, and to be free of currencies that can crumble. Hey, think about it. Look what happened to the Zimbabwe dollar. We saw that it went crashing down because they just kept printing more and more of them. Not only that, but Venezuela, the bolivar there. The Venezuelan bolivar has really tanked, and it's not worth much at all. Matter of fact, they really want Bitcoin down in Venezuela, US dollars or Bitcoin. And I think what we've got to do is look at what has happened throughout history. Often these coins will be around for a while, and then they'll be gone. And so what you want to do is really store up on your knowledge. Make sure that what you're doing is something that is going to help you to understand how that's going to work. And what we're going to do here on the Agorapreneurs is talk a little bit more about that. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on Bitcoin, on altcoins, on cryptocurrencies, blockchain, those types of things, so we can help you with it, because we're going to be able to help you on that in a lot of different ways. Drop me a note if I can help you. Terry@terrybrock.com is my email address, really the best way to reach me. And also, if you're watching here, be sure and subscribe. Whatever platform you're watching this on, by all means, we'd love to have you jump in there and be part of what we're doing on a regular basis. So I'll look forward to hearing from you, and stay with that learning. Learn more about this, and if you got questions, drop me a note and I'll be glad to help. Thank you very much for joining us today here on Agorapreneurs. We're all about your freedom, liberty, and being the entrepreneur that you are, reaching out to achieve the goals that you want. Whether you're an entrepreneur on your own, or maybe operating within another enterprise or organization, whether you're a solopreneur or part of a much larger enterprise, we are here for you to help you get the skills and the technology, the right thinking of mind, right frame of mind, how to increase your connections, building those relationships in business that matter. Don't forget, we've got the 5K program, help you in creating content, no charge to you. You go over and you can look at that at terrybrock.com/5K. Notice the K is lowercase, and you'll be able to get that information, no charge, and you'll also be able to sign up for the newsletter that we send out, the Agorapreneurs Power Report, so you stay right up to date on what's going on. And if you need to reach me, my email is best way to get in touch with me, terry@terrybrock.com. Hey, thanks for being with me today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.